Welcome to the UpNext AI podcast. It's Monday, August 17th, 2026, and here's what matters in AI today. Our lead story: Stripe has reportedly agreed to acquire AI gateway startup OpenRouter for more than $7 billion. TechCrunch, citing Bloomberg, reports that the deal follows acquisition talks reported last month. Stripe has not confirmed it. A spokesperson told TechCrunch the company does not comment on rumors or speculation. OpenRouter gives customers a single access point to different AI models, allowing them to choose systems for particular tasks, budgets, and performance needs rather than committing to one provider. Its chief executive previously described the company as Stripe for AI, and the analogy is useful. It is infrastructure for making a complicated multi-provider market easier to use. The startup said it had 8 million global users and access to more than 400 models. It raised $113 million in a Series B announced in May at a reported $1.3 billion valuation. If the acquisition closes, it would put a major payments and financial infrastructure company behind a key layer of AI procurement and routing. For businesses, that could make model choice feel less like a long-term platform commitment and more like an operational decision. Select the best fit for each job, while keeping the option to switch. That flexibility matters especially as model economics shift. But controlling costs also means understanding the behavior of the models you run yourself. Alibaba's Qwen research lab has released Qwen 3.827b, an Apache 2 licensed vision-capable language model with 27 billion parameters. Simon Willison's early hands-on report makes it sound capable enough for local use on well-equipped consumer hardware, including image understanding, tool use, and coding agent workflows. But it also identifies a practical trap. The model's default reasoning setting is extra high. In one example, the model used 22,276 reasoning tokens and took 21 minutes to produce a 323-token SVG image. With reasoning turned off on the same prompt, it produced 3,715 output tokens in a little over 2 minutes. The comparison is not a general benchmark, but it illustrates the cost of leaving a reasoning-heavy default enabled for ordinary tasks. Willison also found that the model could produce useful bounding boxes for objects in an image and build a local tool from a prompt, though disabling reasoning caused one generated tool to misplace its boxes. So the lesson is not that reasoning is unnecessary. It is that local model users should match reasoning depth to the task, beginning with low or no reasoning when speed and compute use matter. Willison also built a small browser-based tool called Course Chat for testing OpenAI responses compatible endpoints with Qwen in LM Studio and through OpenRouter. It can preserve conversations in the browser, export them as JSON, and progressively render generated SVG images. That is a useful reminder that local experimentation depends on the surrounding tools as much as on the model itself. For the research note, a new Nature Biomedical Engineering paper is titled An Explainable Biomedical Foundation Model via Large-Scale Concept-Enhanced Vision Language Pre-Training. The practical problem is familiar. Medical AI may recognize a pattern in an image, but clinicians need a legible basis for trusting or challenging that output. The paper's framing points toward a concept-enhanced vision language approach, meaning it connects medical images with human-readable biomedical concepts rather than treating model decisions as a pure black box. That direction matters for systems used around clinical images, where a prediction alone is often not enough for review, documentation, or adoption. The key takeaway is that explainability is being designed into biomedical foundation model architectures, not merely added afterward as a visualization layer. The most important caveat is that any clinical value depends on rigorous validation across real settings, patient populations, and workflows. Are you building apps with voice? Elevate your app's voice capabilities with 11 Labs. Their API is a game changer for embedding dynamic, responsive voice interactions in your applications, providing unprecedented realism, flexibility, and latency. In fact, you're listening to one of their voices right now. If you are a developer looking to elevate user experience with natural voice interfaces, this is your solution. Visit upnext.fm/11 to check out their latest offerings. In the headlines, Flue 2, an agent development framework from Astro creator Fred Schott, has reached its first stable release. It uses React-style hooks so agents can manage state, respond to lifecycle events, and attach tools or sub-agents as a workflow changes. The aim is to make agents less like static scripts and more adaptable systems with a built-in operating environment, or harness. On AI model pricing, OpenAI and Anthropic are releasing cheaper offerings as Chinese rivals gain traction with cost-conscious customers. Ars Technica reports that OpenAI cut prices for GPT-5 at 6 Luna by 80%, while Anthropic positioned Claude Opus 5 at half the price of its Fable 5 model. For buyers, price is increasingly becoming a first-class model selection criterion alongside capability. And SpaceX has officially closed its acquisition of AI coding startup Cursor, according to TechCrunch. Cursor is now part of SpaceX, bringing a developer-focused AI company inside a business whose software needs span launch systems, spacecraft, and operations. Before we wrap up, a quick note. This podcast is generated with the assistance of AI and is intended for informational purposes only. All referenced articles, research, and commentary remain the property of their original authors and publishers. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review, and that's your briefing for today. Full source links are in the episode notes, and we'll be back tomorrow with What's Up Next.